guys. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It seems that the days kind of blend together right now, so I can't tell the difference between today being Monday as I record this. You guys will see this on Tuesday, and my Saturday. So I imagine you guys are feeling somewhat the same. As you can see, I have my screen up here. Let me once again run through this stuff since this is all still really kind of new to all of us. But this is week 2 of our virtual classroom. Kind of wanted to just remind you, I will only post Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will send reminds out to you guys to let you know when those, assignments are up. Keep remembering that we are doing daily bell ringers, so just Tuesdays and Thursdays. So really, you should only have 2 bell ringers so far, and then today's will make it a third. And we have our inspirational memes. I'm grading those right on and replying to you guys right below where you've written your discussions, so you can see that instead of me handing back a piece of paper, because I obviously can't do that. And this week we have Brian's and Ella's memes that are due by Friday at 11:59. I know there were a few of you that missed this past week's, just trying to get into routine and things like that, so don't forget those. I'm going to jump in here and kind of show you for week 2, Tuesday's material. We're starting a new unit. That reminds me, you have your Unit 2 paper about the recipe for mindset that's due at 11:59 on Wednesday night. I would get on that sooner than later because I'm also going to add to that, and I'm sorry that I'm kind of adding a little bit more for you guys that is due on 11:59 on Wednesday night. I gave you that extra time to write that paper, hopefully not because you wanted to procrastinate, but because you may have needed that extra time. But make sure you have that submission in. So today we're going to start a new unit. And I'm really going to just start our new unit is strategies. And I'm going to start to talk a little bit about this unit by first kind of hitting the subject of what I would call passion. So our essential question is, how can you perform at your highest level? I'm going to give you strategies to do that. But one of the things a way in which you can perform at your highest level is something that I can't really help you strategize, and that's finding your passion, reflecting on what that is, and trying to start to look for what that passion is. Some of you have a concept of what that is. I'm going to share with you my story of finding my passion, but some of you may not. Some of you may still be searching for that passion, and that's okay. But we do need to know that in order to perform at our optimal levels, we do have to have a passion for what we're doing, or else it just really doesn't work. So I'm having you guys watch this lecture, obviously, and then I want you to comment on a couple of videos that I posted. One of the videos is what Caitlin Ohashi has done since she moved just to the collegiate level to perform, as opposed to performing at the elite level, and kind of seeing her performance and watching her passion as she performs. And then the other is a video by a guy by the name of Les Brown. It's probably never heard of him. He is a radio DJ, and it's his story. And again, just the passion, or what he calls the hunger, in order to achieve something at your optimum level. The last thing that I have for you guys, which this all seems like a lot, is to read chapter 4 mindset. On Thursday at 10:20 to 11:50, we're going to try and do a Google Meet and actually have a discussion and get to see each other again, and get to hear each other's voices. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and start up the lecture. I hope you enjoy, because I'm going to share a pretty personal story of mine. So let me jump into my screen here and present to you guys. So we're going to be starting to talk about strategies. And like I said, one of the biggest strategies is finding your passion and performing with that passion. And that's not something I can teach really easy. That's something that you have to look for. So passion is working hard for something you don't believe in is called stress. Working hard for something you believe in is called passion. When you have a passion, the time you put into that passion doesn't always seem like work. It's something you enjoy. It's something that you look forward to. There are times that there is a grind to your passion, but majority of the times it's not work for you. It's something that you really enjoy doing and you're trying to always get better. So I want to share with you my story. Yeah, that's freshman me. That is the state track meet my freshman year. So let me tell you what it took to get to that point. I was, as many of you know, if you've taken my DE Psych, I talk about me being a late bloomer. I was a very late bloomer. Middle school, I did middle school sports, but I was not very good at those middle school sports. I was small, probably about 4'7" maybe in middle school. Maybe I weighed 75 pounds or so. I was not good at sports. I was tiny. I was weak. Not for the fact of trying. I definitely always tried. I was from a family that had athletes. And so that was kind of like something I wanted to prove that I could do, but my body just wasn't really that great at doing those things yet. So 7th grade track, we'll start there. 7th grade track. I don't think there was a single meet that of middle school track, which there's probably about like 6 meets in a middle school season. I don't think there was a single meet that I didn't come in last place. My race was the mile. I did the mile. I think I did the 800 too, but it wasn't like, I think they just threw me that in there just because. But for some reason, I thought my race was the mile, even though I never, ever in 7th grade came in anything but last. I think my times were something like 7:56. I was just under an 8-minute mile, which most kids can do at that age. 8th grade year, once again, I don't think I really was any more than maybe 2nd or 3rd to last. That was probably one of my best races. And I think I had gotten my time down to a 7:30. So, anybody at this point probably would not go into high school thinking I'm a runner. I don't know why. I think it was because my father was a runner, and he did, half marathons and some. I don't know why that I felt like those times don't matter. That I'm a runner still. So my freshman year comes along, and I, as you guys have known, was taken under the wing of a senior. She did cross country. I did volleyball. She did basketball and I did basketball. And that's when we really started to bond. And of course, we both were going to do track. We naturally trained together because she was a distance runner. And I think it was just me just wanting to keep up with Nikki, to prove to Nikki that I could keep up with her because I wanted to be so much like her. That throughout that beginning of the track season, I did every workout, tried to be in pace with her. Now, what we need to understand about Nikki is Nikki was a state runner-up. By the time she was a senior, her junior year, she was a state runner-up in the 2 mile. So I was training with a very elite runner. And Nikki held the school record for the 2 mile at the time. So my very first meet is up in Leadville. Okay. So any of you that have ever played a game up in Leadville or ran a track meet up in Leadville, you know that this is the highest elevation that you can run at in Colorado. And unfortunately for Leadville, and what made sense at the time for us is it was an indoor track. I don't know that that track even exists now, but it's above their little swimming pool. And in order to do a mile, I think you have to do 22 laps around this indoor track in order to equal a mile. So this is my very first meet of high school. And all I'm thinking is just run. You'll be fine. I do know in the back of my head, I'm thinking I've always played a SLAS, and I just got to just do me and just run. So as I'm running the mile, and remember, Nikki, she also was running the mile. And what I remember is that I just knew that I just keep up with Nikki. That's it. So as we're running the mile, and I think we're on maybe lap number, maybe halfway there, like maybe 12 or 13, just a little over the halfway point. And I'm still keeping up with Nikki. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm happy. I'm meeting my goal. And lap about 20-ish or so, Nikki starts pulling away, which I expected. This is a senior, that this is her year. She's going to win state. But I'm not far behind her. And I don't know if it just hit me all of a sudden because I was just so focused on staying with Nikki. I'm in second place. And that just gave me this bolt of just energy. And I just decided I'm going to start to sprint just like Nikki is. And I'm just going to stay right with Nikki. As we're sprinting those last 2 laps, I'm so excited. Like, I can't even tell you, I realized all of a sudden I'm not going to be last. And best of all, I'm not even going to be like third. I'm going to be second as long as I can stay with Nikki. And I start sprinting. And, when you really get into something, you lose that sense. You're just so focused on everything else that nothing else matters. And embarrassingly, I'm sprinting, and I just let my muscles relax so that I can sprint as hard as I could. And of course, I ended up peeing my pants is what I did. I was giving so much of my effort that I peed my pants. So as I'm coming across the finish line, I realize I'm second, but I've just peed my pants. And of course, they're not pants. They're these lovely little shorts. And so I'm like, I've got to go straight to the bathroom and take care of my issue here and clean myself up. And so I run past my coach, and I run past my parents who are screaming and yelling and so excited for me. And I run past Nikki, who's just so excited to see that I've come in second behind her. And everybody, I think, thought that I was mad at myself that I didn't beat Nikki, but no, it was, I've just peed my pants. And so after I was able to clean up and get changed into my sweats and everything, people were coming up to me and they're like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, I'm so excited." Long story long, I ran that day a 5-minute and 50-second mile. And never before had I done anything like that. I mean, my best time was like a 7:30. And so this suddenly ability of mine was not because I was a natural. I had never been a natural at that. Not because of anything else, but a persistence to stay with Nikki. A hard work that I didn't even realize I was doing. A passion for a sport that I don't really know why that passion was there, because my family did it, because Nikki did it, but a triumph that happened because I worked. And what I didn't realize I was doing that whole time, because I was enjoying my training, was that I was working and I was becoming better, and I was growing into this sport that I would love to compete in over time, because I just saw it as something that I do. Something that allowed me to be around the people that I enjoyed being around. And so, for a long time, I thought track was my passion. Over my high school career, I really did find out basketball was my passion. I loved the team aspect of competing, even though I loved competing. I think that the biggest thing that I've learned throughout my life is that my passions evolve, but almost in layers, from track to realizing, no, my passion is working with the team, to basketball, to working that with my passion. No, let's dig deeper. My passion is to teach the game of basketball and coach. And then in these last few years, since I've stopped coaching, is realizing, no, my passion is just teaching, and love of learning. And so your passions are constantly evolving. They don't always have to be the same. They don't have to be something that you've had since you were 16 all the way to your 40. They might be, but your passions are evolving. And finding your passion isn't always just forcing a passion either. Finding your passion is just something that kind of you work for, and realize that that work is not necessarily work, but it's what you want to do. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, is passion. And it's nothing that any sports psychologist can sit down with you and teach you how to have passion for something. It's something that you're going to feel. And I watched you guys as you talk about your passions. I love listening to you guys when you passionately talk about something, because I know that's what's making you. And I think it's the number one key, is finding your passions and then trying to be the best that you can be. This is actually the video, Beef Awesome. This is Les Brown's video. You'll see that on our lessons, one of the videos that you need to watch for our comment or our discussions. But here's the thing. What we're going to talk about over the next couple weeks is this. This is the OPL. This is the optimum performance level. And this is what every athlete is trying to achieve. You can see that on the x-axis, we have our stress level. We'll talk about that a lot in the next few lessons. And then your performance and happiness level. And the thing is I'm going to be teaching you a lot about how to control this portion, this axis, in order to achieve the optimum level of performance. But this right here, this is something that, again, has to come intrinsically from you. And oftentimes that has to come from a level of this being your passion, your happiness, your health. Caitlin Ohashi does a really good job of teaching us what passion looks like. And passion doesn't always have to be the elite level. Your happiness, your health contributes to that passion. When you compromise your happiness, when you compromise your health, that is obviously going to lessen your passion and possibly lessen your performance. And that's nothing I can teach. I will be teaching you how to control this to get to here, how to control that stress to get to here. But the idea of passion has to come from you guys. So with that said, that's it for today. That's my small little lecture. I ask that you watch the videos, do a discussion, basically post your discussion of 150 words minimum. You do not need to respond to anybody else's discussion. Okay. I am putting it out there just so that a lot of times when we put out and talk about our passions, talk about some things that we see, then it helps others to process. And that's always a good thing. Normally, if we'd be in a class, I probably would have done this as a round robin of us talking. But sadly, we're not together. Thursday to discuss chapter 4, pages, I believe, 82 through 105. I think that's it. It's on the screen. So check that out, and make sure that you are well read so that you can join our discussion right here, 82 to 107. All right, guys. Oh, do notice I did put up our Did You Know? And I did put up our quotes of the week. So thanks, Finn and Kellen, for contributing to our quotes of the week. Otherwise, guys, I wish you guys all the best. Hope that you are finding time to rest and finding some family time. All right, guys, check it out. Oh, I'm going out to Bad Girls. Hey, mister. All right, I won't subject you to my singing. All right, bye.